Also, YouTube, I'm going to have a little bit of a rant because, like, I kind of need to address this because this is kind of somewhat annoying, and I'm sure you hate it as much as I do. Now, as you can see from this picture, I've blanked out the name of the rare player. This is actually me on an alternate account because I like to go on Raid and have zero distractions, so I have this alternate account I don't... excuse me. I don't tell people about. It's just so, like, no one messages me and whatnot. So basically what's happening here is, during main phase 1, I attributed Worm King to destroy a random background. I had Cold Haunted Sat already. Tentacles banished the card rows, like attack. Well, Tentacles attack twice, King if I don't stack. And he's like, oh, I win. I can. They've heard this. I'm like, okay, Cold Haunted. He's like, oh, you can't. I'm like, what? He's like, in mid battle hall. Like, oh no, what is this? I'm like, yeah, I can, man. It's a trap. He's like, be special summon. You can't do main phase 2. I'm like, oh, wow. He's like, you knew? Wow. Charm Purple. Like, this is fine to do, and I'm sure everyone knows exactly why. Because it's a spell speed 2, you can play it at any moment in your turn or your opponent's turn. So, it's fine to play in that battle phase. But that wasn't, like, the worst one, like, I had to deal with. Oh, no. So I was playing against a Lightsworn player. This was crazy. Game 1, I have a face-up Jaeger in attack mode because I have a Book of Moon in hand. So I set the Book of Moon and other stuff. And, like, his Light that attacks into it, and I go, okay, Book of Moon, flip my Jaeger down, flip it up, click on his and say effect, and he's like, no. I'm like, yes. If you book after an attack, I get a replay. I'm like, no. He's like, yeah. I'm like, why? The amount of monsters hasn't changed. Like, game mechanics. I guess that's phonetically fine. Look. Game mechanics why you can't. He's like, that's why I can. And he admits. Now I took the liberty of going onto the Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki page under replay. The official rulebook states, after you've announced your attacking monster and the attack target during a battle step, the attack target must be removed. The attack target might be removed from the field, or a new monster might be placed on your opponent's side of the field before the damage step. Well, due to a card's effect. This causes a replay. When this occurs, you can choose to attack the same monster again, or choose to attack with a different monster, or choose not to attack at all. Note, if you attack with a different monster, the first monster is still considered to have declared an attack and cannot attack again. This was changed in 2006. Before then, we in the TCG are crazy because we were like, oh, if we go attack and then summon something, we go, oh, no, attack with someone else, attack with this again, yeah. Like, you used to be able to attack with a monster that was part of a replay and then just decided not to attack again. So, when replay happens isn't really the important part. But note, the replay does not occur when the attack or defense of a monster on the field is changed, when the battle position of a monster is changed. This is the Book of Moon thing, like, no. No. Terrible. But that also reminds me of, in competitive play, I think the worst thing that ever happened was I had a ruling issue with this card. It wasn't that I was playing it post-ban list. Come on, guys, be serious. No, I wanted to use Monster Reborn on Fossil Diner. Let me get it up. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, that's so bright. Anyway, Fossil Diner is just never play against special summon monsters. When this card's foot face up, destroy special summon monsters on the field. And Reborn, as you know, targets and then summons it to the field. So I was like, okay, I'm playing against Mermels. I'm going to Reborn Diner, so I have a higher chance of winning this game. And then the entire match, and he's like, my opponent's like, oh, you can't do that. So I ask why, and he calls the judge over. Now, this is only a kid, so, I was somewhat okay with this, but his dad turned up, and it was very strange from there. So his dad turns up, and he's like, oh, this is my son. You can request a different judge if you like, but I will try and remain unbiased. And I'm like, I don't care. Really? I mean, it's Fossil Diner Monster Reborn. There's no reason I can't do it. And then at this point, a second judge walks over. And the second judge is like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "I want a reborn fossil diner." And the second judge is like, "Yeah, there's no reason you can't." And I'm like, "I know, man, I know." And the first judge is like, "No, he can't do it. It's like Majesty's Fiend." Because apparently it was ruled for him, like, you can't reborn a fossil diner? What? That's crazy, right? Judges not knowing the rulings? Madness. That's why it's easier, like, for players to know all of their rulings. Because sometimes the judges don't know shit. And that's a real issue. So are the players, but we'll get on to that. So, like, yeah. I tried to reborn the fossil diner, and then he's all like, "Oh, you can't do that." I'm like, "Why not?" And he's like, "Oh, this. Judge, go." So it was ruled in, like, my favour, as it should have been, because I'm able to special summon Fossil Diner, and that was kind of annoying. But not as annoying as this next one. As you know, I play Worms, and another deck I actually play, somewhat competitively, is Spellbooks. Spellbook of Fate got me into an awkward situation. If you don't know what it does, the only really important effect at this time is, like, banish 3 spellbooks, and then you can banish 1 card your opponent controls. Also, fun fact, doesn't target, which I'm sure you all know by now, so yeah. So basically, I was having a bit of bad draws and stuff, and I'm like, oh god. And I get my blue one, I'm like, okay, I can get back into this. It's a good thing I'm only playing against Noble Knights, who only have, like, 1 monster. So I summon my blue boy, I do my, like, play, and then I'm like, okay, tower, set fate, set some other stuff, go. And he's got his monster, and he's like, attack. I'm like, okay, flip fate, banish 3, response. And he says, what does that do? And I go, oh, well, I just banish 3 spellbooks, and I can banish 1 card you control. And he said, oh, which card would you like to banish? And I was like, oh no, this doesn't target. Do you have a response? And he said, no, I said, it doesn't target. He says, oh, okay. So what are you banishing? I'm like, no. It doesn't target. Do you have a response? And he's like, no, what are you banishing? I'm like, no. Do you have a response? And he's like, no, you need to tell me what you're banishing so I can respond. I'm like, no, but it doesn't target. And he's like, yeah, I know, but you have to tell me what you want to banish. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works. So he calls a judge over. And the girl next to me, she was playing Watts, if anyone's actually interested. She laughs, and I was like, yeah, this is happening. Spellbook of Fate, targets, right? So the judge comes over, and he's like, what's up? And then my opponent's like, he's not telling me what he wants to banish with Spellbook of Fate. And the judge is like, he looks fed up. He's just like, no, not this. He just says, he doesn't have to. It doesn't target. He only has to tell you when it's on resolution. And then the Noble Knight player holds up Gwyneth and he's like, but this? And the judge is like, it just banishes. It doesn't destroy. Well, he didn't say it like that, but you kind of get, like, how I want him to have said it. I also want to go back to, like, this. Stanky Mexican. So, like, this guy, like, this was the end result. Too old. Plus 33 rating. So silly. I also want to say, this really bugs me. Everyone who says, oh, you're playing Trap Tricks Liz by having, like, some of my Melios, like, no, my Melio has and always has been a tech, and I've been using her for many months. Many months. I was actually using, like, my Melio, like, months before anyone was really like, oh, well, she searches out bottom of the trap hole, she's a really good tech to put in anything. Or having, like, Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare. I was playing one of them because it was slightly more useful than, like, Void Trap Hole, which I was getting kind of, like, meh about. I should still have, like, a Void Trap Hole somewhere. Yeah. I think I'm going to switch up to them soon. When should those come out? Depending on how things are. Anyway, so this is like a slight rant about, like, players, like, not knowing their stuff. Like, You know, you can't Monster Reborn a Fossil Diner or like Spellbook a Fate Targets, or, you know, Book of Moon causes a replay, or you can't use Call of the Haunted in the battle phase because it's special summons, and that's not a thing you can do until main phase 2. Ah, craziness. Yeah. Sometimes like people like this just like, no, stop playing, go do something else. Just anywhere else, something else, anywhere else, go be productive elsewhere. You're not needed here. No one's gonna miss your dueling quote unquote ability. You're only good if you're like 16,000 rating or above, as, or is it the Yu-Gi-Oh slot set? I'm gonna link that video down below. I urge you to watch it. Like you guys should just watch it. It's great. It's good. Yeah, yeah. I've seen it. I somewhat agree. I agree more than I'd like to, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. If you do like top YCS with like the best deck, then yeah, obviously that is more like money than skill, I guess. But no, I don't think you need like an extremely high rating on DN to have like to be like known as good at this game. I mean, if you can do it with like a tier 3 deck, surely you should be good at this game because it's not as good as the meta. But you know, everyone's got their opinions. So watch that video. Link will be in the description. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz, guys. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.